What's up, everybody? Week 5, I think we're going on our swing trade watch list. We've got our futures open, and SPY, what do you know, is green again. I would expect it just to keep going. It might correct a little bit down to 425, but honestly, it looks fairly bullish. We are obviously at all-time highs. We broke out and retested and bounced, and we'll just keep going. The Qs look a little weaker than that. They are, I'm still bearish on that. We've got kind of a trend line here that we broke, and we've just been chopping back up, but we broke above on Friday and then failed, so I'm still holding my Q puts. I canceled my SPY puts for now. Q, I think, is just going to fold over and just keep going down. And what else we got? Dow. Dow has still got a little bit of room. We broke below a major trend. This one might be easier to play than SPY. You can use DIA. We're in DIA calls, 350. I was going to see if we could retest this high. Big sell-off here on pretty good volume. Green came all the way back, engulfed that last day. Kind of put in a 4-bar play, if you will. But we broke higher. We broke back into the trend line, which is very bullish, and I would suspect we'll get up to 346, 346.50. We might run into some resistance, or we might just keep punching through. Since the infrastructure deal seems to be passing, that's a lot of stocks in the Dow are going to go higher. We're long CAT, even though that didn't look very good. We might exit CAT at a loss. We got in when the news broke of the infrastructure deal. We got in right as we got a little bit late, actually, but as we broke back into the trend line, which again is pretty bullish. So what I'm thinking, maybe we'll be okay. This guy right here on a red day might mean all the sellers got out, all the ones that were down here that still wanted to sell. So I'm going to hold it, but I'm going to make my stop loss Friday's low. Let's exit if we happen to break 215. Wait a minute, we were at 216. What happened to that? 216. We closed above 216, but we must have broke it at the end of the day. I don't pay attention to my own trades. Yeah, we sold off, but we bounced right back. Okay, so let's say you can add to your position to average down if you want. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Look at this. Huge sell-off on huge volume, and it bounced back up. So I would expect all the sellers who wanted to get out are out. So we can keep 216 as our stop loss. Really, it should be 215. But whatever you guys want to do. I'm probably going to hold it. I'll make 215 my official stop loss on CAT. I'm still in that. What else am I still in? PLTR looks good. Held that one over the weekend. We're just cranking up. Low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Nice breakout here. We kind of broke underneath it, but still put in a higher high. So I would expect that to just keep going. If we break 27, 2750, if we break 2750, we might squeeze. The end of the month is when all these things fire off. If you look at these dates, January 27th, 28th, February 25th. That one was just, I don't know what day that was. Maybe that was like a expiration or something. March 25th, April 26th, May 25th. That's when we started to pop again. And we haven't really come down from that. So the end of May is where we started to pop. So June, we got a big seller volume. GME is on my long list, as long as the options are cheap enough. I imagine it'll go back up. It'll break this little flag, go back up. But anyway, GME is not on my list. Just keep an eye on it, because GME is now more important than the SPY in determining what the rest of the market does. GameStop is the market. Let's look at some long ideas first. I didn't talk about what all we're still in. Let's see. QQQ puts, we're still in that. SPCE, let's just exit that on Monday. It's gonna, who knows what that'll do. There's no pattern anymore. I think it's just gonna gamma squeeze, which means all the calls stopped at 60. And if the stock price gets higher than all the calls, then it gamma squeezes, and each option is worth like $1,000 or something crazy. We're like $1 away, so I just figured I'll just hold the rest of mine. Actually, I only have one. I have one more call, 60 call for Monday. Don't buy any more though. But if you're still holding, we'll see what it does on Monday. PLTR, we're still long. Then we got the other lottos, skills. Fubo, we're still in. You can still get in. It broke a minor flag there. Broke a large trend line. Bounced. I expect it to go. Also, if you look at this, oh no, stay. We kind of had a head and shoulders type thing, minus this squeeze, but basically had a head and shoulders, and now we're back above that neckline is still support. So I imagine we'll just keep going. First target would be 43, then we'll get to 54, and then who knows, in 2 years it might be way up there. But anyway, Fubo we're still in. STT looks good. It's had some sell-offs recently. There was one a couple months ago. There was one recently. But again, on huge volume. So after huge volume on a red day, typically all the sellers are out and all you have left are holders and buyers, and so it'll climb back up. Same thing this week, or week. We sold off on high volume, so now all we have left are buyers and holders. And our first target is 89, with the potential to break these, kind of break out of this area here. If we can get above 90, then our next target will be like 100, 105, 110. That one moves pretty quick, so we'll find out right away if we're right or not. STT looks good. And some other little ones that I'm not too worried about. BYND, I'm not really sure about that one anymore. 150 was our stop. But I don't know. There's a lot of green, so that might not work. We might not break. We got in at this break here, 142, and then popped right back up. So our stop loss is like 150. we'll get out of that, and it might actually might break out and go higher. So watch that one. It pops, it squeezes too. It might squeeze next week over 153. You can get calls and gamble. So new trades. If you go and look at FinViz and go to software, I talked about this last week. Let's go to charts. There's a ton of these that look like they're breaking out. Like literally, I think I had 137 stocks that I looked at this weekend, and I don't know how to narrow it down. So what I'm going to do is this week, as things trigger from my watch list, I'll alert them in the option alerts page. Autodesk looks good. AEYE broke out, kind of retested this area. It might go back up in the future. AGYS looks good. I mean, literally every ALRM, every ANSS looks really good. We got a huge volume spike on Friday. When you have huge volume on small price movement, expect a big move. We broke out of this flat top here. We came down. Let me get it closer here. Let's put this one on the list for the official watch list here. So we had had kind of a flat top here for a while. Broke out, came down, retested, and bounced hard. So that one, our first target will be 378. ANSS. LAZR looks really good. This one's interesting because we're right at breaking point. But then again, we are in all the what do you call those stupid EV stocks? They're all popping. If you did this right, you would do this. You would say this is where all the sellers are. When they get here, this is where all the sellers are. If you get above this 2660 area, then the sellers are gone and it'll pop. LAZR looks good long. I'll put the official entries tomorrow. LAZR does like EV software, I think. Some kind of whatever. I don't care. CALX is on my watch list because we got this beautiful flat top here with higher lows. Obviously. And if we can get above 49, this thing can go, who knows how high this can go. This thing could be $100 in a couple weeks. CALX is one of my favorites. CRM looks good. CRM looks good because we kind of had this downward thing. Went down, retested, bounced. Now we're putting in we've got a little bit of sellers to mess with here. But, I mean, if we can get somewhere above here, really, if we can get above here. What I'm going to do, I was talking to somebody about resistance and support. It's not necessarily a price, it's a range. So let's look at this right here. Every time it gets below 241.87 or 242, we'll say, then the buyers step in. You can't fell down, and the buyers stepped in there. That's a horrible color. Hopefully you can still see that. Anyway. There we go. Let's make this. There we go. So, drops below here, the buyers come in. So, what you could do is just buy it right here. Make this your, so 242, buy a call to 247. And then your stop loss is these bottoming tails, which is also prior resistance over here, 239, 242 by 239 stop loss by calls on the open on Monday. Huge volume. Look at this. Oh man, CRM is awesome. I'm gonna buy so much CRM tomorrow. Huge volume on a red candle. It means everybody who wanted to sell sold that day to all the buyers. And so you're pretty confident that this thing's just gonna keep going. CRM is my favorite, I think, for this week. CRM. ENV looks really good. It broke out. It's kind of whippy, but why did I put that one on my list? I think just because it broke. ENV. I wonder why I put that on my list. It was on my scans here. Sometimes you gotta look at a weekly chart. That's how I start. Oh yeah. Okay, look at this 4-bar play. Okay, so you broke out. Oops, that's not a very straight line, but you broke out of resistance here on huge volume. Now you got a couple days of consolidation. You break above that, and that'd be enough momentum to keep you going. So that's why I like ENV. It's a weekly 3-bar play. If you don't know what a 3-bar play is, I'll post a link to that video again. It's not my idea. It's from an organization called Live Traders, which is where I learned how to trade. IDEX we're still in from the weekend. This one was kind of a lotto gamble thing. I do like how it's kind of got a couple patterns going on, but this kind of looks good. How it's used to sell off around here, now that's support. And we've also got kind of a 3-bar play going. Well, here it is. Yeah, huge volume again on low price movement, means it can pop. IDEX, let's make the target on that one a big one because it's a $3 stock, so it could go crazy. $7. I don't remember what we're in. That one, when an IPO'd, was high. I don't know, $10. $10 calls for IDEX. Cheap. I like cheap. MSP looks good. These are all. Oh, this is an IPO. So here's a trick to make bank. IPOs are really simple to trade. Yeah, I kind of missed this one, but once they break the downward trend, then so the story is, most of the time when an IPO starts, it'll kind of take off, and then they all sell off. Like they just, take off, or they just tank. I mean, because nobody wants to hold brand new stocks for very long. They buy the first couple days, and then they all sell. Everybody sells. Everybody that bought over here before the company IPO'd, they just want to take their profit and get out. So what you do is, once the trend line breaks, you buy it. This one actually failed, but it retested the breakout. PLTK. It hasn't quite done it yet, but here's an example. Snow snow. Everybody likes snow, right? Keep looking at that as the example. But what happens is you sell off, you get all your sellers out, and everybody that wanted to sell out is gone now. And so again, all you have are buyers, and they just go crazy. Wolf is the same way. You get all the sellers out, and then it can start to really just take off. So this one, MSP, is a software company. It already broke out, retested, and that sucker looks like it's just going to go. The target on an IPO is double the IPO opening price. So if we opened at $32, then our target will be 64. So we could get in like September 64 calls. No, you don't want to do that. You want to get into calls like around the top, because then as they go higher, you make money. So I don't know. We'll look at that one, like 30 calls on MSP. Another Lotto IPO, and whatever. This one broke out pretty hard on good volume. PUBM, I think that it has options. I'll double check that. So all I'm looking at long this week are software stocks. When you use FinViz, you can do all, and then just scan through each one. And you go here, optionable. You can pick the market cap if you want to do mid cap plus, price over $10, and that leaves you with 2,000 stocks to scan on Saturday. And you just go through and say, airline stocks don't look good, but I'm seeing a theme. Software stocks look good, so I'm going to get some software stocks. So anyway, those are long ideas, software stocks, and as other ones trigger, I'll post them too. Short, I love shorting stuff because it goes down so fast. Is industry, banks and mortgages. Bank of America broke trend. It's going to come up and retest and come down. Canadian ones are crazy. BMO, CM, they've just been ripping all this whole time, and they've never corrected. So I think they're going to come down. HSBC broke a trend line, might come back up, bounce, and then fall. JP Morgan, it broke the trend line. It's going to fall. I mean, they're all having a hard time. Let's look at let's look at those Canadian banks real quick. Look at this craziness. You cannot tell me that that's going to go higher. Short CM. Okay. I don't know what price yet. Probably 100 puts on CM, and see if we can get 102. 100 will be our target, so maybe 110 puts and 100 to be our target would be this prior pivot. 100 will be our target from 116. We'll get in below 115, get in below 116, get in 110 puts, and your target's 100. JP Morgan. That looks like junk. Absolute junk. Might come back up and bounce and just sell off. We might buy some for August and just catch the crash all summer. You can also do XLF, which is just all the banks We were already in that one time before. We crashed. We got in down here, or up here, and rode it to here, but got out too early. It's alright. So now we're going to try to retest it, and we're going to fail at 37, so get 37 puts on XLF for October, and we'll just ride it, and we'll just fill this gap again down here. Banks are going to fail. So are mortgage companies. Oh, look at this. Freddie Mac, stock, whatever. What is this one? FMCC. Look at this. Look at this. FMCC. You tell me that the world's okay. That's not the right one. FMCC. FMCC. Federal Home Loan Mortgage Company. No. There it is. Freddie Mac. Remember 2008? Lost 50% of its value in a week. In a day. In a day. Freddie Mac. What's the other one? Fannie Mae stock. FNMA. FNMA. Fannie Mae, same thing. I mean, that's like literally the bottom, but it just sold off. This was 2008. This is where it was in 2008. Look at this craziness. $60 stock is now went down to $1.13. So what do you think a $2 stock's gonna go to? Like zero. Anything that is housing related, I'm gonna short. Zillow. Let's start with the big one. VNQ. That's what we're already short. VNQ has just been going higher since COVID. There was our crash. Just been going higher. We've got a little bit of, might have some resistance here at 99, but we are in 80 puts way down here because I expect this to just sell off again. If you want to do that whole resistance thing, anytime it gets above here, it historically has sold off in this area. I don't know if it will again or not. It's already broken above it, but I don't know. I just don't believe. I don't believe that our housing market is as strong as everybody thinks it is. And it hasn't corrected since COVID yet. It just keeps going up. So I think it's going to come down and retest down here, 75 or even lower. It was $20 after the 2009 crash. So VNQ short. You can get anywhere from 100 puts down to 80 puts for like October. Zillow, short Zillow because it went crazy. I'm zoomed out so it doesn't look as crazy, but I mean it is crazy. It was $20 stock and it went to 208. So my expectation is to come back down here to $66. Zillow to $66 by puts and ride it to 66 for the end of the year or lower. Eventually housing is gonna crash. RMAX Remax already looks like it's falling over. Remax is housing as well, And again, if you just look at housing, real estate development, real estate. Joe looks slower. It's about to break this. We could do that one. I got a whole bunch of oh, here go mortgage. So all these mortgage companies are starting to break down. ACRE fell, AG&C, AJX looks like it's gonna break. So all of these look like this one's really good. DX looks good to break down. So keep your eye on VNQ and housing stocks to short the banks, short the housing stocks, which are dependent on the banks. And yeah, that's about all I got. Long software, LAZR is long, CRM is long, CALX, I don't know. CALX looks really good to just go to who knows where. That'll be a fun one to hold. And I'll put my entries on the alert thing. As far as the lotto ones again, SPCE looks too high now. It's going to get chopped down. We might get a pop to 60 or higher, 63, just to gamma squeeze. But I look to exit that one pretty dang quick on Monday. Hopefully we gap up to, you know, $97, and then we'll just be rich. But anyway, keep an eye on the lotto ones as well. AMC looks higher. It's about to break out. If we could get a good volume bar, if we could get a sell-off to $50 by calls, and then that's about it. I will see you guys tomorrow. Let's just see real quick what the NASDAQ's doing. NQ1. Yeah, it hasn't really moved yet, but I believe it's going to keep coming down. So anyway, appreciate it and talk to you guys later.